Hey guys, Pete here. Game of Thrones Season 7 news has been filtering out since the show started filming in Belfast, and last night I saw a post that will definitely get fans excited. But it relates to production news, so if you don't like to have spoilers from casting or the set, you should probably stop watching. But before you go, I'm doing a book giveaway, so check out one of my other new Game of Thrones videos to participate in that. Everyone else, make sure you watch to the end to find out how to enter. Okay, so there isn't a ton of news so far this week, but we can do a lot of speculation on what the biggest reveal might mean. We'll get into that in a minute, but first let's look at the less shocking but still exciting news. Ian Glenn has been spotted by fans in Belfast, which means that we can expect to see Jorah again this season. There was a rumor of him coming to town earlier this year with Gwendolyn Christie, but this new photo seals the deal. I always expected we would see more Jorah since he had that scene with Dany where she tells him to go find a cure for his grayscale, but I guess some fans were wondering if that would be the last we would see of him. Show Jorah is a lot different of a character than the book Jorah is, and he's a little bit more likable on the show, less rough looking, and most importantly, he doesn't have grayscale in the books. Where he's at now is a combination of two different characters, one of which we will never really see in the show, so it's a bit complicated to speculate on his role. Generally speaking though, we know his purpose in life is to serve Dany, even if that means that his love for her remains unrequited. He has faced great risks to come back to her, and now she's given him a direct order to find a cure and come back to her healed. My guess is that he will find something of value for her in his quest to heal himself. The progress of the grayscale seems steady but slow, so it's possible he could survive for a while. It would make sense for him to go east, and then, that would open a lot of doors in the way of him finding something that could be of value to her in her quest later. My personal hope is that he will run into Quaithe, but the show hasn't used her much, and she's a lot bigger of a character in the books. It would be cool since Quaithe is a really interesting character who's important, but not exactly sure why he would need to run into her face to face. If you don't remember, Quaithe is the Shadowbinder woman Dany met in Karth that actually approached Jorah first, and she gives Dany some help and some prophecy that is pretty important. In the books, Quaithe communicates with Dany in dreams, and there is a high likeliness that she is secretly another character from the past. I always like the Ashara Dane theory, since I think Ashara has more of a role to play in the story, but other theories say she's Shira Seastar, who is one of the great bastards that's a sister to Bloodraven. If he doesn't run into Quaithe, maybe he finds out something about the Warlocks from the House of the Undying. There's a possibility that since Euron Greyjoy is getting into the mix that they might be important, but I am working on a Euron video that will get into that, so I'm not really going to talk about that here. Let me know what you guys think about where Jorah will end up and what he'll do. I mentioned in my last Season 7 video that we are getting a confirmed battle at sea that pits the Greyjoys against one another. We also have news that they are casting for other battles, which means the season looks like there's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on. Watchers on the Wall reported that Game of Thrones is casting hundreds of extras in Spain. They have pretty strict rules which include no visible tattoos or modern hairstyles. It's also been mentioned that the males must be willing to shave their heads and beards, so this sounds a lot like an Unsullied army. Watchers also reported that the crew is looking for a large number of horses in that area, which means we're likely going to get a battle that involves both the Unsullied and the Dothraki on Westerosi soil. The big news, of course, isn't that Sophie Turner and Maisie Williams have been spotted shopping and getting tattoos together in Belfast. It involves our favorite lost character of the series, Gendry. The last we saw him, he was rowing away after Davos saved him from Melisandre back in Season 3, and fans have not forgotten him. He has been subject of a ton of speculation, been the star of some awesome memes, and now we have confirmation that Joe Dempsey, the actor who plays Gendry, has been spotted at an airport in Belfast. This is fun news since we all have wondered just where Gendry might have been hanging out all this time. His character is another example of mixing two characters from the books together, though. We actually know where Gendry is in the books. Brienne runs into him at the inn at the crossroads in the Riverlands. He's working there with the Brotherhood Without Banners, who are currently following Lady Stoneheart around. In the books, the Brotherhood never sell Gendry to Melisandre like we see in this show in Season 3, so he's just always been there since, him and Arya parted ways. Melisandre still does the blood sacrifice with the leeches and all that, but she uses a different Baratheon bastard who's named Edric Storm. Edric's different than Gendry since he's like noted as one of Robert's sons, and he's been at Dragonstone since he was born. He's the one that Davos saves, and in the story, in the books, he sends him off to the Free Cities. In the end, that isn't really that important because to date we haven't heard much about him either. So what can we speculate based on knowing Gendry is coming back? back. Well, as mentioned, he won't be doing what either of the characters he is based on is doing in the books. I mean, not likely anyways. We know that Lady Stoneheart got cut from the show, and since the Brotherhood sold him off, it isn't likely that he'll be joining back up with them anytime soon. He is the last, remaining person that we know that has, Robert's blood, but do we really think with so few episodes left that the show will have some houses rally around him in the Stormlands and go against the Crown? I mean, it's possible. It just seems like it might be unnecessary at this point since we're headed towards the War for the Dawn. I think what makes the most sense is that since Arya is back in Westeros, we will see them meet up again. Let's not forget that Melisandre is headed south now that Jon sent her away, so a confluence of these three characters might be in the works. After all, Melisandre told Arya that they would meet again, and in the show's story, Gendry is most important for these two characters. If he's going to play a major role is yet to be seen, but D&D No fans want to see Gendry come back, and a reunion with Arya would be a good payoff. So he could play a role, or it could just be fan service to tie up that loose end, and they could maybe just get together and that'd be it. I won't go too far into predictions for Arya and Melisandre since I'll be doing that in a different video, but at least now we know that the rower that was promised is going to make an appearance. Let me know what part you guys think Gendry will play in Season 7, or what you'd like to see between these three characters. Before I go, I wanted to give a shout out to a new channel that is doing some cool stuff for charity. It's called Trial by Trivia, and they've been doing Game of Thrones trivia, which is actually a lot of fun. I came across their channel this Saturday night and had a blast answering questions in the chat room with their other subscribers. They've also been doing a tournament where YouTube creators that you probably know go against each other like head to head, so you can watch those episodes to see how well you might be able to do against them. It's a brand new channel, so they're still growing, but the charity aspect is great and you should definitely check them out. I'll post a link in the description below, so check them out and think about supporting the charity, which is I can't remember the name right now, but it trains service dogs to help people get them that need them. Please like this video if you thought it was good, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for a chance to win in the giveaway. When I hit 18,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a copy of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms by George R.R. Martin. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on my videos. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.